Welcome to One Stop Co-op Shop. This is Steve. I'm here with Bairnt.
Hey Steve, good to be back here. Love the co-op chat. Here we go.
Another week, another chat. I love how we're making this thing happen. So if you're first time joining, welcome. This is a live chat. This is the freeform talking head stuff. So if you have any questions, jump in. We're open to tangents here.
That's right.
But we will go through a bunch of upcoming cooperative games that are being crowdfunded. So we'll run through that real quick, and then we'll jump to the discussion topic. And this week, talking about alien games, and we have the resident alien expert I consider on the stream, which is not me, it's Barrett.
I know a couple.
Oh, actually, you might appreciate this, Barrett. My wife and I did recently watch Alien and Aliens together, so we.
I'm proud of you. Those are fantastic movies. Obviously, Aliens actually is, I would say, my favorite movie of all time, and I actually can. It's one of those ones that growing up that I could quote from front to back, when once the credits start to once the credits end.
Nice. I bet you could. Okay, let's jump into that and then we'll get into the fun alien talk. So, the first game I have pulled up here is called Game of Hunt. This one is a family based game. Seems like it'd be good for like younger kids, as far as I can tell. 1 to 6 players, about 20 minutes. And this is kind of cool because it's got magnetic components in it. Now, it is magnetic components, but it also has 4 games built into it. So there's a trash monster game where you're running around this town trying to find these trash cubes that this flying monster is dropping down. Another one is a mushroom forest where you are trying to help small gnomes get mushrooms to make soup, but the mushrooms will teleport you randomly around. And then there's another one where it's another planet where you're helping an alien, but there's a wind on the planet and it'll blow things around. It's as you can see the theme here, it's all about collecting things. And the last one is Monkey Temple, where you're an ancient temple with uh, strange monkey statues, and you're trying to find a way to stop all the statues. So, but it's all cooperative. It looks like a really cute, fun family game. Yeah, Snow, I agree with you. This it looks like such a cute game. I completely agree. But yeah, that one is coming. Oh, by the way, all these Kickstarters I'm going to mention all landing on the 7th, so September 7th. So there's a heads up. So that is Game of Hunt. Looks pretty cool. So let's move on to the next one I want to talk about, and that is going to be The Spill. So this one is a 1 to 4 player fully co-op game, and I'm really excited about this one. I'm not gonna, something about it. So it is you're working together to save ocean life from a oil spill, and the cool thing about this is, well, let me clarify real quick. You have 3 things you have to do. You have to contain the oil flowing from the rig, remove what oil from the water, and rescue marine animals. And the cool thing about it is you have this dice tower. But this dice tower is unique in that you drop dice in them, and they will randomly roll out in 4 different quadrants. And the tower itself is physically representing the oil rig, and the dice coming out the bottom are the oil, right? And you have to clean up and stuff like that. So sounds really cool about this one, and looks like Snow. Yeah, had some talks with Mike about this one. Yeah, so we'll see. But like that part of it sounds really cool. But this one is launching again on Tuesday. So the spill. Yeah, and honestly, if you guys are curious, honestly, head over to our Discord if you're not already there to talk about these games. It's always active, basically all the time. Um, I will clarify too, because I know some people have been confused in the past that the Discord is like, oh, is that only for Patreon members? It's not. It's open for everyone. Anyone can join. So, and yeah, it is pandemic-y. Yeah, it's one of those like disaster zones. Run to different areas to clean stuff up. Yep, very good. Okay, the next one to talk about is Dungeons of Infinity. This one I am very excited to back personally. This one might sound familiar. This is not a new game in a sense. It is coming back to Kickstarter. Colin did a playthrough on the channel for that if you want to take a look at it. This is either a one-off dungeon crawl or a campaign mode. Hey Ryan, thanks for
I'll
joining us.
and I'll be actually doing a playthrough of this as well. I
Awesome.
constantly borrow his copy, so I'm actually going to be able to get a playthrough done for everybody. It's not going to be on the Kickstarter by any means, but it's going to be on my channel. It'll be a lot of fun to watch. at
Awesome.
some point.
Are you? This is just the original, the first edition, right?
Correct. Yes, the one he was able to get a copy of the original one, and so he did a playthrough, and then he let me borrow it and said, "Hey, you should do a playthrough of this, but I'd wait till the Kickstarter comes, so more people have a chance to actually see it." And I know there was it kind of fell in a realm of there's a lot of sadness in the way it was originally like released or something. I don't know the whole story behind
The
it, but I know
rules. Yeah.
it was it didn't exactly meet with people's expectations, or there wasn't enough of them to go around. It was kind of being price hiked, I think, around, and so I think
Mm.
people are really excited to have a new Kickstarter for the game come out. So I'm excited to get that one up onto the channel soon.
Yeah, I know the rules were kind of all over the place. It was hard to like consolidate where things are going, and so this was picked up by Sky Kingdom Games, and so they have all new artwork and the rulebook's all condensed, and they're doing an expansion as well. This is not just a
Yeah.
second edition. There's actually an expansion with it as well. And have you played this one yet, Bairnt?
No, I haven't. I've been reading the rules and getting ready to play it, do a playthrough of it. But of course, it's so hard to get at the table when I'm playing Madara.
Not surprised. Madara owns all at your house,
It's
so
a fun game, fun game.
yes. But yeah, this one I'm really, really excited for. It is launching Tuesday, and I am definitely back in this one. Okay, let's move on to the next one. Next one we have to talk about is tournament fishing. This is also not a well, we talked about this in the past. Not exactly a new game. Mike did a playthrough on the channel, and I think I did a playthrough as well. It's kind of sad I don't remember if I did a playthrough video on this channel from the old Game Crafter version of it, which was a self-published version. But this is coming back to crowdfunding, and it's getting the professional publishing look on it. So all new artwork, some new gameplay elements in it as well. And this one, I will have a playthrough for everyone to check it out, and I'll be doing a live stream. In fact, my plan is to do a live stream of this on Wednesday. So this will be launching on Tuesday. The next day, I'll do a live play of this, and this is a really fun deck building game. Um, Snow's cracking me up here. How can
Yep.
Madara prevent any play? It only takes only half of my room of space, which is Madara's a huge table hog for sure.
And mine's even bigger because I actually use the player mat. So I've got these big player mats out on the table
Yeah.
too. It's pretty funny. So yes, it actually covers my entire table pretty well.
Yeah, it's hard to play even solitaire with Madara on your table. So true. God, that is such a big game. But yeah, that was the first game Bairnt and I ever played face to face together.
This is true. This is
Yep.
true.
And I got to meet him at his table, which was just check that off my box bucket list things to do. So
Oh, that's awesome.
yep. But yeah, this tournament fishing game. This is a deck builder. It can be played competitively, solo, and co-op. And I think it works well in all those, honestly. But this one is one I don't know what it is about this. I'm not a huge fishing guy, but I really like this game, so I'm excited for this one as well. So we'll show you a playthrough on Wednesday if you guys want to check it out, and Tuesday as well for the edited video. Okay, last but not least, Agemonia. I'm not really sure how to say this one. So this one is a fully co-op, 1 to 4 player. Sounds like more of like an adventure type game. So this is set in a world of magic, and basically like there's weird cataclysmic events happening everywhere, and there's these strange ancient devices. We're not sure if they're linked to things. We're not sure what's happening on this, but yeah, you are moving around the board, you creating equipment, spawning enemies, doing might, agility, and will checks, and in trying to complete the scenario, and you're trying to manage between your stamina to do these actions and your health, which is also your stamina. So you're managing your stamina as you are trying to battle the bad guys and complete whatever the scenario is. So I do know that Mike is going to be covering this at one point on the channel. It won't be ready for the launch, but be on the lookout for that coming up sometime in the future. I'm sure, knowing Mike, he'll have some content out before the campaign ends. Cool.
Cool.
That is a lot of stuff.
It is. There's a big lot of co-op coming out in the future here.
Yes. So Ryan mentioned you had me at Cursey at Deck Builder, but now you have my attention co-op fishing game. Yep. Yeah, it's interesting. It's the co-op fishing game. Just not to go into too many details here, but you can play against one or multiple AIs. In the video Tuesday I'll have, it's Kim and I playing against two AI opponents, which is super challenging. Yeah, you know what I do. I make these games too hard, so it was really bad. But it was so much fun. But yeah, you are going down lake spots and trying to catch fish. You have to make sure the fish are interested in your lure and have enough strength to reel them to try to reel them in. But it's very cooperative, which is really fun. Okay, enough new games. And you guys want to, if you guys have other questions on, let us know. But I think at this point, let's jump into the actual chat itself. So, what are we talking about today?
We're going to talk about alien games, and so you can just sit back and I will enjoy, and you can enjoy my voice for a long time. Oh, look, Steve's got some of them up there right now.
Yeah,
He's got a few of them. I've got a few more I'm going to talk about.
I
He
just
just
threw some
picked up
examples.
4.
There's a few.
I was going to see. I was going to see how far I could dig into this, and Steve going, "I've never heard of that one." Finally coming out of his mouth. So I do see as Nemesis up, which I actually would put in as an Alien game for sure. For those of you that don't know, Alien is a franchise built around this mythological or sci-fi world that is set in the future, where really the reason I really latch onto it is it's not your Star Trek happy, like everybody's ship is like glowing, colorful, doors open perfectly, everything always, the phasers always fire. No, this is like a rough and tough world where corporations are cutting corners to get farther into this in space and to be able to find things and mine things and discover things so that they can have an edge over other corporations. So it's a really gritty sci-fi world, which is one reason I think it really is cool. And of course,
I like Snow's comment here. Now to acid spitting creepers, which is
that's right, acid spitting creepers. If they weren't bad enough, they
right.
have created the perfect killing machine in this universe as well. So they've made lots of games trying to demonstrate this, not only in the board game world, but also in the video game world as well. I'm not going to go into the video game ones, but there's really only one that's good, and that was for the Commodore 64. All the rest of them were terrible. Well, I guess one was okay. Alien Isolation was okay. But that's beyond the point. Video games are not what we're talking about. We're talking about board games. So long time ago in the board game world, they actually put out an Alien game, not the one that you're seeing on the screen. It was very poor. I never actually had a chance to play it, but what I saw of it, it was not that great. So I never really got into that one. But of course, then in 1987, they brought out Aliens from Leading Edge Games. This time it's War. I was all in on this one. Not only did I get this, but I actually went onto their I did like a mail in. I did write a check and mail it in, and I got the expansions for this. Not only that, I mailed in another check to get the role playing game that they made from this back in the day, way before, of course, internet or anything. And I remember being young and sitting there every day waiting for the mail to come, thinking, I can get my role playing game. I can get my role playing game. Well, they delayed the role playing game like by a year, but of course they don't tell anybody. It's not like anything they can just send out like an email or something. So nobody ever knew that was taking so long to get. And finally, they sent out a letter like 6 months after I was supposed to have this game. And my parents were kind of like, I don't know if you're ever gonna get your game. I'm like, I spent like $50 on this thing. And when I was like 8, that was huge. That was a big deal. And then I got it and said, like, sorry, it's taking so long, but you're gonna get a hard-covered version of this game. So it's really cool. I got the hard-covered version of this role-playing game. I then looked into it. It wasn't the greatest. It was a hard role-playing game to play because it really concentrated on, like, when you roll, you see if you hit, and then you have to roll to see what body part you hit, and they have to roll to see what happens to that body part, and you have to roll to see how far past that body part it goes into another body part. It's like all this like weird rule, like you just roll to shoot, boom, hit the guy, good, done. I mean, it was a really odd system, but it was almost a micromanage type system, and that's, I think, was at the time something games were going for. All right, so that was the Aliens role playing game. But the Aliens board game I showed you, that's probably one of my favorites. It really encompasses the movie. It uses the art. Now, I'm not sure if people saw it, but the board itself is probably the most distracting board you've ever seen in your entire life. And you will see it again on our live when we do our extra life maybe again. But it has like scenes from the movie all over the board. So it's like just mass chaos. But the characters themselves, they come up with, they actually have the art from the cards themselves, and they have their weapons. And it's a simple D10 system. You roll the dice, see what happens. And then if you hit them, they die. They only have 1 hit point. Then, of course, the aliens have their own tables for stuff like acid and what the queen does. This is what happens when the alien attacks you. So it's got all these neat little rules for all of them to do. Is it great? Yes, it's great. Do you need the expansion? It helps. You can find all the rules for the expansion on like Board Game Geek and stuff, but the actual map for the expansion, yeah, you're gonna have to try to track that down. Not to mention the game itself runs pretty heavy because it's not made anymore. You can't find it. If you can't tell, my box has been through a lot. It's been through. I think I brought it to like all my friends' house. I brought it to church camp a couple times. Yeah, and probably shouldn't have brought an Alien Games to church camp, but I did. And it was fun. We had a blast.
I
We
will
shot aliens.
say, yeah, we played that one for Extra
Mhm.
Life last year, and it was you, me, and Colin, right, playing that, and I can't tell you how hard I laughed at that game. It was so hilarious, and
It
okay,
is.
to be fair, like the game mechanically isn't like the best, right?
No. It's a very dated system. It's
It
just a
is very dated.
D10 random roll type thing.
Yeah, but like just what happens in the game and the ridiculous scenarios that happen. And to be fair, playing with Bairnt is always fun too. But like it's the perfect storm of just a great time. I love that game. So
It was so good. And the game we actually played really encompassed the movie itself so well. We're working, everything's doing fine. All of a sudden, like three aliens fell on Steve. Steve was in big trouble. I think by the end, I think all of his guys died, and so we had to actually Colin and I had to give him a couple of our guys for the next part of the game. And
oh yeah, that was brilliant. So yeah, I'm glad you brought up that one because I that one is one I don't think a lot of people know about. But like you said, it's really difficult to find. So
yeah, I did a playthrough of it on my channel a long time ago. I went through the base game, and even Colin expressed some interest in maybe doing the expansion at some point. I'll
okay,
run it by him. We might play a game of it and see if he might be interested. Of course, again, the game, like you said, is pretty dated, and even the expansion can have a tendency to drag a little bit. Kind of like the last scenario in the base game has a tendency to sometimes drag a little bit. You're really just moving as fast as you can so these things don't catch you, which is very thematic to the movie.
right.
But in an actual gameplay setting, it can be it gets a little old and a little long.
And
But
that one is specifically based off of Aliens,
correct, it is the second movie. It's based off the second movie. So that's
right?
your first Aliens game that ever came out. And Alien, they had, like I said, they had it a long time ago. I don't remember when it came out. I never really got a chance to play it much. When I finally decided to look into it, I was like, eh. So anyway, those are those two games. Now let's step forward in time from that game, and we're going to come to one of the ones that again is not on his list that he has over in the corner. There's a
There's too many of
they
them.
actually created a collectible card game called Aliens versus Predator. I spent an astronomical amount of money on this game. It was awesome. I really enjoyed it. And I think the problem is I enjoyed it more because I wanted the cards. I didn't really play the game all that much, and it really didn't grab my attention. It should have. I bet if I was able to get that game to the table again, I think I would have more fun with it now because I would, as an older person and understanding a lot more about how the games work and how games actually function, I think I would have more fun in this. You picked a race. You're the Marines, the aliens, or the Predator. And you had your own deck of cards, and you were trying to eliminate the other two that were in the game. And so each one of them had cards in them that would help them. The aliens and the Predators, of course, moved with hidden movement, and then the Marines did not, and they basically were just loaded with weaponry. And you had to try to dig the weaponry out of your deck and equip your guys. Where the Predator also had the same thing. He had equipment you had to dig out of your deck, and he would only get a certain amount of weaponry based on his honor value. And the aliens, you just try to build them up as fast as you can, and then just run them at people until they were able to kill them all. And hopefully your queen wouldn't die, and you'd be able to kill them. Um, I can't remember who made that game. Sorry, been a long time since I played that game. I probably have my cards somewhere. I don't know. Again, I kind of got out of competitive games, and so I really that one again also fell to the wayside.
Yeah.
But they did expansions all the way up to the Alien Resurrection movie. So I had I think I bought 2 or 3 boxes of Alien Resurrection game, but
Wow.
just because I wanted the whole other group. I wanted those rogue group with Elgin and all that, and it was really cool to get Reese with his and I had all their weaponry with the shotguns and the thermos can and all that with Johnner's thermos can. It was really cool, and that had an interesting. Their mechanic was that they could do obviously surprise attacks. So like when people went to combat, they would automatically get a free shot, and then you'd go to combat kind of thing. So that was their kind of deal. So
Cool.
that's the next one. I have to get my McDonald's coffee. Sadly, I ran out of coffee today, so I had to go to McDonald's instead of putting my nice one-stop co-op shop coffee mug. So sad. So I'm gonna guess you did not play that one, did you, Steve?
Did not. Nope.
No. All right. We will move on. The next one. We're finally getting to the ones you have on your screen here. I'm going to talk about Alien Encounters, Legendary Encounters, which is a fantastic game. That one, I can't stop playing that one either. That one is a blast. It's only some people say yes, some people say no. I'm a fan of having movie imagery on cards, so I think it would have been really cool to kind of have at least some movie imagery, at least for the aliens. Maybe not some of the characters, but at least the aliens. I think would have been really cool to have some of the alien like iconography of them and stuff like this. But they do have so many different kinds of aliens coming through, like stalker alien, hunter alien, uh, hidden alien. Like they have all the. If you've ever played the game, basically all your as you're playing, these cards are coming face down, and you have to use. You basically have to spot them, and once you spot them, you can flip them up, and then you have to deal with them before they come in the complex and kill you. Unlike Legendary Marvel, where you just don't have to deal with some; they just go away. Aliens don't go away. They want you, and they want you dead, or they want to put a little egg inside you, and that's lots of fun too. So, but that and each guy, of course, has a like an actual card in the deck of the what do you call them the beginner cards. They each one kind of has its
Yeah.
own card that makes them different and unique, which is kind of a cool system too.
Because that
We
one
played it,
you're an avatar, right? You're playing as
correct?
a character, and so you have a special card associated with that. And that one also, if you're familiar with Legendary, there's a track they all get pushed down, and at the end of the track in like Marvel Legendary, it triggers a bad effect. But in Aliens, you go into a separate area where they continue to wound you, right?
Hmm. Yeah, that's exactly right. And then you inside the cool thing is inside the deck as it's coming out, it actually plays through the scenario, which is kind of cool.
Yep.
I think they did a really good job of this game. This is my favorite Legendary game. I'm a big fan of this one, obviously.
Not
Not only
surprised.
because of the theme. Not I know the theme itself is probably surprising that that would be the number one, but it actually the mechanics and stuff I think are really well done.
Oh yeah, I like it. That's a good one. I played this one a few times in the past, and I enjoyed it as well. So it's interesting too that so like they have these encounters games, which started I think with the Alien one, and they have other encounters on
Mhm.
top of that. But then they continued their legendary line, which is um, basically the difference is one is like scenario driven, where you set the deck in a different to drive into that storyline, I guess. And then like more of the ledger side is like, hey, you can combine things into your
Yeah.
own type of scenario, right?
Yeah.
But they do have very similar mechanics between the two of them. In fact, like later games, like you talk about Marvel Legendary, it has a scenario where you do scan cards, just like Legendary Encounters, and so it's interesting to see like how these games are merging, and like other games like we won't get into details here, but like Legendary Bond kind of like combines the two in a lot of situations.
Oh, okay.
But
I haven't done.
oh yeah, so Paul says I play Legendary Encounters solo and I love it. Play about 10 games, but only won once. Yes,
Oh, that sounds about right. Oh,
that
it's a
sounds
tough game.
right.
It's a
That
really
sounds
tough
right.
game, but it's really cool. And it's really satisfying when you actually get through it. And the cool thing is each one of the it has like each movie, and you can play them separately. Or like Steve says, this one has the ability to combine different things if you want to. But I just always play with the core movie. I just love playing through it and really kind of experiencing the movie through the game.
Totally.
It's really fun. I really enjoy that one.
Yeah, Jack mentioned he says just wait for the alien themed dungeon crawlers, which oh man, that'd be awesome because I don't think there are any dungeon crawlers like alien themes.
It's not. We'll be getting to one, but it's not exactly a dungeon crawler. I'm sure people have all
Right.
seen that's that glorious day in the core, but it's not really. It has the mechanics of a dungeon crawler, but it isn't really a dungeon crawler. You're not running around getting loot, getting to
Right.
a certain like your guys aren't really powering up or anything like that, which would be really cool. I would be all for Alien dungeon crawler.
That's like
That'd
your
be.
perfect storm. Dungeon crawl and alien. That's like Bairnt's like dream game.
I don't think I'd just sell everything. So, but
Okay.
we're going to move on to another game. And then once we get all done, I'm going to give you my thoughts on kind of what I think of these games in general. The next one is going to be another one that Steve does not have on his list. He has failed again, but that's okay. He may not have heard of this one. It's called Aliens Bug Hunt. It's
Oh
a dice
yes.
chucking aliens game where you're get like a group or a person and you're basically it's a very random game,
Hmm.
and it kind of goes and you have to roll these dice and certain things happen as you're moving through the hive type thing. I haven't played this enough to really give my super good opinion on it, but it's okay. It's a fun little game. I would actually like to do a playthrough on the channel of this. I haven't had a chance to do that yet. That's another one that's on my list. My list is actually I think about this long of games I want to put on my channel that I haven't got to yet. So bear with me. It will probably be coming at some point. This one has not. I have not had enough plays of yet to really get the whole idea of how I'm going to do it and stuff like that. So that
That
one's
one
coming.
Does that one come in like almost like an ammo type box?
Yes, and I bang my camera real good. This is Magic the Gathering, but it comes in something similar
Yeah,
to
yeah,
this. Yes.
yeah.
Yes, it does. It comes in that. It's sitting on my shelf, actually, in the other room. That is the need to play and put on channel games. That is where that I have another. I have a whole lot. You may see some games back here, but there's games out there too that are the ones that are supposed to go on the channel that I haven't putting there yet. But they sit there and they taunt me, is what they do. They taunt me really good. And then eventually, and then I'll be like, oh, I should probably do that one. And I look down, I'm like, oh, but Madara's here. Let's just do some more Madara. So then it doesn't happen. I just need to pack up Madara for after, and I'm getting close to a point. If people watch my channel, I'm actually doing some Madara, and I'm actually almost to the point where you were with me at one point, where we got to the final act of that act, or scene one, as my sub pump goes off, where we get to the final act of, where we got to the end of Act 1 or Chapter 1. And once I get to there, I might again shelve it for a short time to get some of these other games I want to do on the channel. But I'm getting close, and I'm having a lot of fun, and it's blast, just like it was with you, Steve. Now, let's see here. We're going to get into two games. These are the newer games. There was a big, long pause between when Aliens and the Alien versus Predator game came out and any attempt to make another Alien game. There was a huge pause, unless I'm missing one that I don't know about. And if I do miss one, please let me know, because I got to go buy it. There was
I get to go buy it.
There was the Aliens, Another Glorious Day in the Core, and Alien. They both pretty much came out within a year of each other. One's by Gale Force 9. The other one is by, who is it, Steve?
I have to check. I don't remember.
It's the one that guys that do a lot of the Target games that have to do with movie
Cosmos?
franchise.
Was it Cosmos?
No, not Cosmos. I'm sure somebody in the chat is about to tell me in 30 seconds. So while I wait for that, I will tell you a little bit about these games. So Another Glorious Day in the Core is as close to a Dungeon Crawler as you're going to get in the Aliens universe. You get to pick your guys. You get to outfit your guys with whatever you want. So we're already breaking what the movie gives you. Like, you could give Hudson a smart gun, and Vasquez could have a flamethrower if she wants. So, I mean, you can give anybody you want whatever you want, which works for the game, because especially what this game does. But I liked it better when you could equip them. And if you decide to equip them like the movie, you totally can. You're going to have a tough time getting through this game because it's a little rough. But
Rough as in difficult to play?
It's difficult. It gets difficult because they're expecting you to be able to outfit these characters the way they're supposed to be. I guess you could lower the amount of aliens that come out. But the aliens come out randomly. Sadly, the aliens come out randomly, but not random enough for me. Like in the original Aliens game we played, they could appear anywhere and do anything.
Right.
Kind of very similar to the movie, which I think is awesome. In this one, they only come out of usually about 4 different places, and it almost feels like Zombicide in a way, which is fine, but basically all you're doing then is running towards a wave and destroying it, and sure, these other little pockets of them will come up every once in a while, but as you're moving to a certain place, these swarms are coming at you and you're just kind of gunning through them to get to where your objective is. It works. I enjoy it. And I have no problem playing it. I actually just got the expansions for it, so I'm hoping to build those up, paint those, and get those on the table. And I'm going to do another playthrough that goes through the entire campaign that they do. They do like a built-in campaign if you want to play it. Otherwise, you can do bug hunt type things where, and some of them do actually, I think, start you at a lower difficulty. Like, you can just have pistols, and you have to start there and you have to find your stuff. So then it almost becomes like a true dungeon crawler in a way. I think I haven't actually played much of the bug hunt stuff because I've really just enjoyed the campaign where you start by finding Newt, which again doesn't really go like with the movie. But oh, there we go, Ravenberger. That's the one that did the Alien game. Thank you so much,
Thank
Paul.
you, Paul. Appreciate it.
Thank you. Yes. They've been doing a lot of really fun, like, and you can find a Target. And so that's where, yes, that's it. Thank you. Another thing I'm not a fan of is, like, the first scenario is like, find Newt. Okay. If you watch the movie, she was just hanging out. Found her. Found it. Did that. Boom, mic drop, right? Nope, not in this game. There's like aliens coming after you, got to destroy them. And I can understand where they're coming from. They have to give you things to fight for and make it. Right. Otherwise, you really only had 2 different areas where these aliens actually came at them. So you needed to have, if you wanted this campaign, you have to have multiple levels. So I kind of I have fun just going through and playing this game. So that's that game. Don't know if I really explained it too well, but it was fun. Now, Alien by Ravensburger Games. Thank you, Paul. This one just recently came out. Now, this goes back to the Alien game. Now, there's some really cool things happening in this game that I enjoy. One, there's no player elimination, but there's already been a mod built for it if you wanted to do it. The track is basically a fear track, and once the fear track gets to the bottom, or it's a morale track, I guess, but it's very similar to having a fear track where you get to the bottom, your guys are all, it's done. You're too, you have no more morale, or you're too afraid of this alien to move on in your life, and the aliens have won. And I guess you say Ash has won as well, which is in the movie, is in the movie, and he's also in the game as well. Started to get confused by all the aliens. There are many aliens. They never stop. They keep on coming over and over. They're like bees, man. This one's fun because it is a silent, or it isn't a hidden movement game, but it's a game where you're collecting resources and you're trying to complete objectives, but you never know kind of what the alien does. And there's actually two different types of cards in there. There's alien cards and there's Ash cards, which is kind of cool. So if you use the Ash variant, he actually does what's on the card. Otherwise, the card itself just does what it's supposed to do. I enjoy this game. I think it's great. I think it's fun. It's 20 minutes, which is really cool. If you want to just play an alien game with your friends, that's 20 minutes. It's built on the same premise as Horrified, if I remember it. I haven't played Horrified, but that's what I've been told. Also, I've been told that Horrified is better, and I can understand there's apparently multiple monsters or something, and each one's a little bit different, right, Steve?
Yeah, that's my understanding as well. Yeah. But I mean, you do have for the alien game itself, I thought it was kind of cool how they had different objective combinations you had to do in this one. So
yeah, and after you get 3 of them done, then you have to do that big final objective, and
right.
that's different too. There's 5 different ones, so you never know. You could be gearing yourself up to hopefully take on a certain objective, but that one doesn't come up as a different type of objective. And Paul just says that you have to just remember that aliens are bad, and he speaks wise words. They are bad. I don't think I've met a good one. There's only one instance where the alien actually didn't kill somebody, and that was in a alien's book. Yep, read those too. That's
I told you this is the expert to talk to.
and it had to do with like he was trying to make a composition of alien noises. It's weird. It was really weird. There are weird books. Surprise, surprise, the aliens book. And so this one person was in charge of taking care of the alien, while the other guy was getting sounds and stuff. He needed to create this like orchestral like masterpiece. And at one point she fell into the alien thing or something, and for the split second it didn't attempt to like kill her, and she realized at that point that alien, just for that split second, had realized that maybe I shouldn't kill that person. But then of course that split second later it went after and killed her, or not killed her, but she actually got out. But yes,
I think Snow nailed this one. So the endless Bairnt, the endless encyclopedia of alien universe.
I am. But it was funny because we were trying to think of a topic, and Steve goes, "You think we can talk about aliens games? Like, we can talk about aliens games. That's no problem."
Oh man.
So now that we've talked about all these wonderful alien games, how would I rate them? What do I think they're good? How good are they? Things like this.
Well, I do want to mention one other because I have the picture up just to mention it.
I see that. I see Nemesis is over there. You want to talk about that one?
Just briefly, it's not technically alien, but at the same time it is, if you know what I'm trying to say. Like,
I think it is.
Yeah. It plays very much like you would in the alien movies. But yeah, you are on a ship, you kind of wake up out of hypersleep, and guess what? There's aliens on board. And so you have to explore the ship and try to well, it depends on how you play it. I played it cooperatively, which was really, really fun. But yeah, there's aliens crawling through the air ducts, and you are trying to, I think you're trying to make the jump out, right? Or there's a couple of different ways you can do it, I guess.
Yes, there's many different ways. But yes, I would say this is the same genre. I mean, you think about it. Crew stranded somewhere, check. Evil corporation wanting an alien, check. People potentially not on your side, check. I mean, it's got all these boxes that check for when you're talking about an alien game. Of course, more than one alien, yes, not check on alien, but that's okay. That's the game works fantastic. I can't get enough of this game. I believe this might have been the first podcast that I was on, was when we talked Nemesis, I think. It might have been one beforehand, but I think it was Nemesis was the one we talked about the most. And the reason I remember it is because when we talked about the 5 things you have to know about the game, your number 1 and my number 1, I think, were the same, and it was for opposite reasons.
Yes, it was. It was.
You told me, I hate the way the damage system rolls. You roll the die, and then you flip a card to see if you kill them. And now they got 8 hit points? Why did they have 4 before? Now what's going on? And then I'm just the opposite, like, that's my favorite thing, that you never know if you kill the alien.
I remember that. It's so funny.
Oh, that was classic right there. It was
Oh,
so good.
definitely.
But
Uh, S- Snow brought up another one, which I unfortunately haven't played, but is along the same lines. Hunted. It's technically not Alien, but it is Alien, so that is one we do have to check out at some point.
all right, I have to look at that one. I haven't seen that one yet.
Yeah. Oh, Paul mentioned. What about Space Hulk? It's Alien style
Hmm.
bug hunt game. Yeah, I
A
could
lot
see
of people
that.
do consider that in the
Yeah.
same kind of. If you're talking about if you're including Nemesis, I think you should include that one because it's
Yeah.
same type of theme and genre type. It does this. It's building on the same theme. Yes, I have not played Space Hulk. I've heard I'm supposed to play Space Hulk.
I've not played the big board game. I've played the Death Angel one, the small card game.
Okay.
So that's the only one I've played. But yeah, though that theme would fit, I believe,
Mhm.
in Space Hulk. Uh, BJJ Zombie said, the playthroughs I've seen of Nemesis seem slow. Is there a lot going on in it?
Yes.
I would say yes.
Um,
Yeah.
the playthroughs, I think you're going to see it go slow because you're discussing all the things that are going on. When I sit down and play this game with my friends who know the game, there's basically all it is laughter and excitement and just like overall, it's so much fun. But we just might love. I mean, you think about it, like I grew up with the Aliens game. Like my guy's dying was something like, oh well, that's too bad, I mean, kind of thing. But like, so it's just like hilarious. Like the guy rolls a die and pulls out, like, oh, you got the queen, and we all point and laugh at the guy. It's like, oh, the queen's on you. Have fun with that. But we, because so we, and Steve talked about the co-op version, and yes, there's a co-op version. That to me is super tough because not only do you have to complete your objective, every person at the table has to complete their objective. That's the deal. I've actually, believe it or not, I've Steve ruled this game so that you only have one objective you have to complete because even then that's pretty tough because a lot of times when you're going for 4 different objectives, not only do you not make it, but one of the issues of the game is player elimination, and while you're doing these, some of the players could be eliminated and they usually have a chance of just sitting there, where when you play it competitively, sure, people are being eliminated, but if characters are being eliminated in a competitive, in the semi-competitive game, you're most likely almost about to win or nobody's winning. There's gonna be no winners
Yep.
at all.
Looks like Kitsumi has been playing alone, so that's cool.
Yeah,
Pumpkinhead's giving cracking up because Steve ruled the game.
I
Yes,
did.
yes. Haunted House rules things all the time, and make him harder, as you will find out
Mm-hmm.
in the Tuesday play of tournament fishing. So
The good news, he didn't have to Steve rule the Nemesis game. It's hard enough.
that's right. That's right. That's very true. Pumpkinhead did another question. What about Marvel Legendary Brood? Marvel
Well, that
versus
would be something
Aliens.
Steve would have to answer. I've not played it. I've not played against those people yet.
I have not either. Unless you're talking about. Okay, okay, you're talking about like the brood
Yeah, the
aliens
brood
in.
species inside there. Yeah, there's like a queen brood, and then there's all the little broods that are running around.
Yep,
I know of who they are and what their deal is. They were in the X-Men universe.
that's right. That's right. Yeah, they're in there, but I don't know if I would. I guess you can make an alien game based on that a little bit. There's definitely like aliens. Like I said, there's the same system that has the scanning cards in Legendary Encounters Aliens is in Marvel Legendary, so you can play that scenario with the Brood, and you get pretty close to Legendary Encounters. So, oh yeah, yeah, Pumpkin's trolling. Yeah, I know, because I'm like, there's aliens in there, but I don't know about that. So yeah,
Yeah, I'm not. I have actually Colin's Marvel Legendary. He let me borrow it, but I haven't. I just randomly play stuff. I don't throw stuff in together try to make something.
yeah, yeah. I gotta get that back to the stream. That's one of my favorite ones. There's an expansion coming out, so I think I'll probably wait until that expansion hits, and then we'll cover that. So sorry. So that was a fun sidetrack. Do you want to get back to your overall statements, Bairnt, on
Sure.
these games?
You want another sidetrack just for the heck of it? You know when I used to play Magic the Gathering, my favorite deck to build were the slivers. I don't know if you ever know who these guys
Oh
are, but they're
yes, the slivers.
the sliver queen, and you had all these slivers. Whenever anyone came out, all the other ones gained this ability. Yeah, that was my favorite deck to try to play.
I
Was I good at it? No, no, no.
I have a fun
Okay.
story about that. I play Magic the Gathering as well with my brothers,
Oh, okay. Yeah, I just
and
got back into it. That's gonna be expensive.
I'm sorry to hear that. Just kidding. No, it's a fantastic game. It's just expensive.
Yeah,
So,
yeah.
but yeah, we decided to make our own sliver deck, but we just took all of our random leftover sliver cards we randomly got, put them all in a deck, and see how it works. It failed horribly. It was like one of the worst decks we've ever built. So,
Oh, that's pretty good. Oh, somebody's saying Xeno Shift. I haven't played it. Colin has it. Um,
Oh yeah, that's a good one.
yeah,
That's also a
but
good
he says
one.
it's more like Starship Troopers, which I enjoy Starship Troopers. I like that movie too. That's a fun movie.
It's
Not as
true.
much the alien movie, but it's a fun movie. It's just a good old sit there and watch movie, and that's
Snow's
fun.
also giving your condolences on Magic the Gathering. So
Yes, yes.
actually, one thing that
Oh
would
yes,
be
it's
kind of
true.
cool is do a co-op of that. We should do that sometime.
Yeah, we can do that. So back to the alien games that we've strayed a little bit far from, but I appreciate all your
No.
comments and thank you so much. We don't mind going off on tangents. It's a lot of fun to hear what you have to say to talk about it. Uh, so there's a lot of alien games out there. Um, I enjoy all of them. There's each one of them has their own advantages and disadvantages for what they're trying to do. Do you want one based on a movie? Do you want one more to just have fun? There's a lot of things that you're going to need to know. How would I rate these? Uh, that's a tough question. I think you're gonna have to watch. You might have to subscribe to Meet Me at the Table because I'm planning to do a top 5 Aliens games, and you'll be able to know how I rate these games pretty soon. I'm going to talk about 5 different Alien games that I think are awesome and the order in which I would get them and play them. I'm going to be doing that soon. I'm super excited. Actually, it's going to be my second top 10. I guess it's top 5 video I've ever done. So I'm hoping to get that done, and we'll see how it goes.
Awesome. But yeah, that was a really long, involved discussion. Well, maybe somewhat involved. Yeah.
Or
Definitely.
just me talking. I
Yeah,
don't
just
know
you
how much
talking.
discussion.
Oh, what is this? A setup for Bairnt's channel? Yes, I guess we are apparently.
I'm gonna take this shirt off. I'll put on the my meet me at the table shirt now. No, I don't have a meet me at the table shirt.
But yeah, we're
I
all
actually
about cross
probably
promotion. So
the top 5 list. I'll probably be throwing a one stop co-op shop as well, so you'll probably see it there as well. So
yeah,
I've had a lot of comments, a lot of questions about it. Recently, I've gotten a lot of emails and questions about, hey, your top 10 dungeon crawlers. So I'll be doing probably a video for that. I've had a lot of people asking for the top 5. Like, what are your favorite alien games? How would you rate them? So I'm planning to do one for that too, just so that people that are interested in those things can see them.
absolutely. Cool. That's yeah. When I put this together, I wasn't sure if we'd get into the ranking of them or not. But after talking to Bairnt earlier, it's like, oh, by the way, are you doing this video? Yeah, we'll see for you video. So.
You'll know him. You'll know him. I'm just teasing it. I'm teasing it.
Oh, Snow was mentioning it. Now that you said it, you need a meet me at the table shirt. We should make that happen.
I, okay, so if I did a Meet Me at the Table shirt, I almost have to do kind of what you guys did, do a rebrand because I think my logo has like 92 colors in it or something. So it's impossible to make a shirt out of it.
Yeah, that might be a little tricky. We can figure something out. I can help you with that if you wanted. So cool. Okay, that was a fun chat.
That was awesome, Steve. Thank you for letting me talk about the things I love and adore.
Always welcome. Always welcome. Let's talk about some future stuff real quick so people know what's coming up on the channel. Tomorrow, Bairnt is going to be back on this channel doing a playthrough of just a game not many people have heard about, Kingdom Death, I believe, Monster
Yeah, it's
Stadium.
this little game that came out a few years ago. It has a couple people that follow it. Not very many people are into this one, so we'll see. It only stretches some boundaries and pushes some limits, and it's just this great game. Yeah.
Yeah, it's awesome.
So
We're
those of you
totally
who don't
joking
know,
here, by
yes,
the way.
Kingdom Death will be happening tomorrow with me and Peter. We're in the midst of getting people to start joining us because now that we've kind of got settled in how we're going to be doing these, we're going to start having guests come on, and that'll be a lot of fun. We're going to
Awesome.
reach out to people in the Discord and things and try to get people involved in this game.
Awesome. Do you know what you're fighting tomorrow?
Yes, we are fighting the antelope. We were going to do Spadiculus, but
Hmm.
in order to do that, we need to actually, believe it or not, have Will from Hungry Gamer come back because in the story of the way the Spadiculus came about, his character is driven to fight this thing. So in order to go fight this thing, his character has to be present,
That's
and we don't
awesome.
want to do it without him. So we're going to try to get it done. If it doesn't work out, I'm going to talk to him and try to make it happen. And we might actually be doing a special weekday episode at some point because he might be pretty busy on the weekends coming out.
That's awesome. And yeah, Pumpkinhead, I did not play KDM yet. That's one that's on my to-do list at some point. So, and
Yeah, well, if you want to play it and not own it, you can just go watch my 51 episode
yeah,
playlist.
I know, so good. Jack mentioned, always
Whew.
great to hear you talk so passionately and excitedly about board games, Bairnt. Completely agree. That's
Thank you, thank
love
you.
having Bairnt on the show.
Steve makes the show though. I just kind of back him up.
So excellent. So yeah, that's happening tomorrow. Trying to think what else is coming up. Yeah, we got some playthroughs coming up. Like I said, I'm going to do the tournament fishing game Wednesday. Monday is probably going to be Street Masters. I think getting back to that one. It's either gonna be Street Masters or Spirit Island for Monday. I haven't quite decided yet which one. I'll post that later today though. Trying to think anything else coming up. That's probably it. So, lot stuff happening.
Not for me. I just got Madara. Playing some Madara. I'm gonna get back to Wild Ascent. I'm actually almost got this guy painted. He's the guy we have to fight next in Wild Ascent, so I'm working on him.
Sweet.
He'll be done
Very
soon,
cool.
and then I can do my next Wild Ascent video, which I have loved this game. The Prelude Adventures I'm going through is amazing, and I actually played the first campaign out of the base box with Colin. He really enjoyed it, and I think he's going to join me on one of these games. The cool thing that I loved about it is, for me, story in these kind of games is key, and their story is phenomenal. It is so good. He was reading the beginning of this campaign book, and he was talking about some of the characters. I'm like, oh my gosh, that's because this happened in the Prelude, and I've just played it. It's like the Prelude connects completely with the campaign that you're going to play when you get to the base box. It was unbelievable, like, because the Prelude is, of course, how these characters met, and they talk about, like, oh, remember when did it? I'm like, oh my gosh, I did that fight. I just did that fight. And they're talking about it in the campaign book.
That's
That's
awesome.
awesome. So
That's so
they
cool.
really have done a great job doing that.
Very cool.
Yeah.
Cool. Well, thanks everyone for joining. I love having you guys on. Love the chat going on. I really appreciate it. And we'll see you at the next stop.
Take care.
Bye bye.